Questions now for Kurt Busch. Any questions in the press box for Kurt Busch? They do have one. Go ahead.
Papers. Kurt, could you talk about what your strategy was before that last pit stop? I think you called for the 4 tires and said you kind of had a game plan. What did you envision that you couldn't do because of the restart?
Yeah, I was hoping that the 99 would have gotten a better restart, but you know, I had a plan to go underneath them coming out of turn 2, and shoot, I was on his high side by the time I got to turn 1. So the game plan changed right away. When guys have 2 tires, they hold everybody up as far as slipping their tires on restarts. My game plan was to rough up the 99 as quick as I could and get by him on the inside, and that would have bottled up the outside lane, but it didn't work out. Just you got to make those split-second decisions, and it didn't go in my favor on that one.
Another question in the press box. Go ahead, please.
Jennifer, Associated Press. Kurt, I know that the 48 won today, but are you fairly confident that you've reached the point now where you can run with them and you can beat them every week?
Well, they're going to be tough next week at Martinsville, and we'll be lucky to finish 10th. So that's why I was really pouring my heart and soul into winning this one, because he's going to have a solid car next week. We looked at the lap tracker today, or Saturday's practice, saw the 48 was going to be the car to beat. They are every week, and it's up to the best of us to knock him off the top. So it's rough. You know, they've won 3 times this year. Not that we need to deserve to win. It's just they are winning every chance that they're given, and we just need to position ourselves more to get those wins. And I feel confident that we've turned a good corner. I have a great crew chief in Steve Addington, maybe a missing link that I've been missing at Penske for some years, but it's early in the year. We've had a couple solid runs. We're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves.
Another question in the press box. Go ahead, please.
Reed Spencer with the Sporting News. Kurt, TV said that that on the last stop that Steve wanted to go with 2, you overruled him. First of all, is that correct? And
that's false, please. That's false. Yep. I'm really good at getting stuff written about me. That's false.
So it was 4 all the way?
Yes, it was 4 tires all the way. Who won the race? Jimmy Johnson. How many tires did he have?
Exactly. 4. Appreciate it very much.
We'll come back downstairs. Any questions downstairs for Kurt? Anybody down here? Okay, we'll go back upstairs for an additional question. Go ahead.
Hey, Kurt, it's Jenna again. You just were talking about Steve and maybe he was the missing link. Why have you guys been able to click so quickly?
Really, it's a matter of just past experience and not jumping to conclusions too quickly on what's set up to bolt onto the car. I feel like we had a solid program with the 2 and what we did last year at Penske, and he had a solid program on what he did on the 18 car, and he has his notes. We have our notes. The weird thing is we found 2 ways to skin this same cat, this COT. But, you know, it's a matter of finding the right balance week in and week out. And we found it for a couple races. But now, with this new spoiler coming in, things are going to change quite a bit. Martinsville and Phoenix, and then, of course, at Texas, that'll be the big test for this rear spoiler. So it's good to go out with a bang. I was hoping to win the last race with a wing. Whether it meant anything, no. It's going to be a feather in the cap, though.
We'll come downstairs for a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, Kurt, David Newton, ESPN.com. Talk about what you saw Jimmy do there at the end. I mean, here's a track years ago. You could barely get around a car single wide, and he goes 3 wide to try to get the lead.
Yeah, he was on the outside lane, and the seas parted for him. It was similar to us at Atlanta, where the guys, I was able to split them, get the lead right away. He was able to clear the cars with 2 tires quicker than we were. I was just bottled up on the inside. Not anymore. You just hammer down on these restarts, close your eyes, and see what you get, because it's a crapshoot.
Let's go back upstairs for another question. Go ahead.
Tony Bullock, Courier Tribune. Kurt, you talked about the spoiler briefly. When the COT came about, a lot was made of the adjustments of trying to get the cars to handle and whatnot with the wing. Do you see the same thing sort of happening again when you guys bring the spoiler in?
I think there's going to be a learning curve for all the race teams. I absolutely do. I think it's going to be a big hurdle for a lot of teams to cross over, and it'll get back to who does it the best, the quickest. That's similar to Joe Gibbs Racing, when they fired up these COTs, they were hot and they couldn't be beat. And of course, Hendrick's been strong all along, and maybe this will slow them down a little bit. And us at Penske Racing and our Dodges, we can stumble across something that will give us a competitive advantage.
We'll go back upstairs. Anything else in the press box? Clearing the press box downstairs. Another question for Kurt. Are we good? Okay, Kurt, thank you.
All right,
And
thanks a
good
lot.
luck at Martinsville. Thank you, Kurt.